Hey everyone, sorry, I didn't even know that I started this stream. it just went live. Hi everyone. Well, it's only 9:48 where I am, so it's not yet my bedtime, and I can't stay away from you guys. Hi Lynn Pell and Texas Motherbird. Thanks for joining. This is just impromptu. I have nothing special, but I wanted to go through some of the stuff that I've been seeing online, and um, yeah, and thanks for joining me. Let's get started. This is like my socializing, so I know that's sad when you think about it, but it's true. This is what I do for my socializing. Hold on. Let's get started.
Now, I call this the Spencer Pratt enters the fray Monday, okay? Because this is a big new development. Now, I've always really respected Spencer Pratt. Actually, it's funny. I have some, not directly, but like a friend group removed connection to Spencer Pratt and his wife, which I only found out recently.
You have block.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty much everybody these days, Lynn. Everybody's online, and it's good that we found our crew. We're the crew of reason and evidence and logic and truth and goodness, and so we follow each other to all the best channels, including mine. But yeah, I don't think that makes us unique. I think that this is just the way the world is going, and I don't think it's going to change. As long as you have some time that you dedicate to normal world with your family, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It used to be everyone was watching TV or movies, so this is no worse than that. But yeah, if you find yourself only online, especially on places like X, that will be a problem because that will rot your brain. But if you come to video or channels like mine, you're only gonna get smarter. So nothing wrong with it. Let's keep watching.
You are 0 degrees
I am
of
the Kevin
separation
Bacon
from Taylor Swift. I remember yet.
By the way, do we have any Aquarius? We only have 2 viewers, so are either of you Aquarius? You face each day with eagerness and determination. Conclusions are made after pros and cons are heard. Wasted time can be a hindrance to your achievements. The sign of the water bearer. Oh, nice. Well, Texas, I just read a little bit about your sign. You face each day with eagerness and determination. I can tell that about you. So, okay.
True story. True story. Anyway, so Spencer Pratt comes out with a big new video. It's one of those 10-minute videos that Spencer Pratt, he's monologuing to the camera. It's kind of like, it'd be like when Tucker would do his monologue for 10, 15 minutes on Fox, but it's even more produced and it's very visually stunning. And he enters the fray because he is very upset, as many of you are, as we are, about this unhinged, let's just call it TikTok brain, therapy brain, whatever it is, of women getting behind Lindsay Clough.
I just realized, can you guys hear this at all? Give me a 4 if it's sounding okay. I'm gonna put it on the microphone. Okay, good. Yeah, my studio is kind of messed up. It's like you can only hear out of the speakers for some reason. but I need to settle one or two cases to get some money, and then I'm gonna actually invest in some backlighting and stuff like that. Is money tight for everyone, or is it just me? It's like, wow, everything is so expensive. Yeah, yeah, Texas. Thank you. That makes I'm honored that you're listening to me while lying in bed. Thank you. No need to interact. I will play some white noise for you. Shh. No, just kidding. But have a good night. Yeah, these impromptu lives. I don't expect everybody to drop everything they're doing because just because I feel like chatting or something. So no worries.
Clancy raising over $1 million for him doing the hearts, the solidarity hearts for a woman that strangled 3 of her children in cold blood, and then tried to commit suicide jumping out of a second-story window or whatever, gets paralyzed from the waist down. Anyways, the whole nation is up in arms about this. I happen to think there's, I would say, foreign actors or maybe domestic actors nudging and pushing this stuff, amplifying it, but there's a lot of crazy out there. So a lot of this is really organic, and we have to come to grips with that. And so this was his video trying to come to grips with that. And he made a point that I also made about how Hollywood has been celebrating villains and anti-heroes. I think that's part of it. And then TikTok has, and it's not just TikTok, it's Instagram, it's all the social medias that have come and created these little echo chambers, these algorithmic silos of people that are getting fed disinformation at rapid clips, and they don't have enough common sense to process it.
Well, it's a lot of clips that I think we should dive into.
Let's do it.
Which one do we want to start with? Well, we have the anti-heroes one.
Let's do that. Let's
all right, let's do that as the setting the stage. Let's do 17.
Gone are the days of the true bad guy. Now, the cinematic vanguard is in love with finding the humanity in the bad guy, telling the sympathetic origin story. Our parents had superheroes. We have anti-heroes. Breaking Bad was so brilliant, but it made us cheer on a narcissistic, murderous, criminal drug kingpin who destroyed his family over money. When Tim Burton did Batman, the Joker was a lunatic. But now the Joker gets his own movie where he's the hero, and the climax of the film is him murdering the orderlies at the asylum. The arts dog-walked us here over decades, with films and televisions that inverted the paradigm of normal virtue. Cops are the bad guys, outlaws are the heroes, and man, do you see that manifesting in reality today.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a
Very Hollywood.
It's very Hollywood. You got the music in the background. I love it. I love it. And here's why I love it. Spencer Pratt is entering the fray because he didn't just go there. He's picking up on something that we have been aware of here as well. And that the Venn diagram between the Lindsay Clancy truthers and the Charlie truthers is darn near 1-to-1.
1-to-1, and also that it's fundamentally a lot of it aligns with the left and its manifestations of.
And that we're going to get into that because something you're going to hear. We have Jeremy Carl coming on halfway through this hour. We're going to talk about a lot of people online are now saying the left-right paradigm. It's dated, bro. It's dated. Got to unite against the man.
I like that impression.
Insane, actually, because think about what they're saying. They're saying you should align with the abortion lobby that wants to kill your kids up until birth, sometimes after infanticide. The open borders group that want a third world America. They want to take your guns. They want to take your speech. I mean, this is.
They want to trans the kids, which to me is that's such a big winning issue. I think it's a 90-10 issue at worst. So I think that's definitely something that the Republicans should be running on, is the transing of the kids. It's so sick. It's such a sick thing to even imagine.
It's what this cooked brain syndrome on the internet looks like. And so what Spencer Pratt does next is, I would say, courageous. And he has my admiration for doing this. I don't know Spencer Pratt, never talked to him, but this is great. SOC 12.
What about all the goblins celebrating the communists who shot Charlie Kirk? You have insane influencers making a fortune of shamelessly exploiting his death, tying themselves in knots with the most convoluted Rube Goldberg explanations to try and deny something we all saw in 4K and wish we didn't. And it was an exploding mic.
He had a great microphone.
And they timed it precisely to the millisecond with the fake gunshot from the patsy.
Shape charge was actually supposed to hit him in the chest.
There were Jews hiding under the grass. It was French special forces. Just the craziest, most unhinged imaginable. And people believe it. Anything but what actually happened. Anything but the most obvious, straightforward explanation. The woke communist you saw on camera who had prints on the rifle killed an anti-communist leader because communists are violent lunatics. That's it. We have a communist violence problem. But psychos on the internet have made an entire cottage industry around denying and exploiting it.
Wow, that was so good. Spencer Pratt for president 2028. I mean, I'm a Marco Rubio guy, but Spencer Pratt, everybody, we got to go with him. He's great. Calling out Candace Owens basically by name, calling her a goblin, because that is what she is.
Just want to like slow clap because he hits the nail on the head, and it's so refreshing. If you sit in this chair, you sit in yours, to hear somebody with a large platform articulate this point so clearly.
A large platform, and let's be blunt, a good flair for presentation, and in a way that can make it viral, that can really make it punch through for a lot of people who maybe don't just watch, they're not going to watch a 4-hour podcast dissecting it. They're not going to watch all of those videos on YouTube. But some of them will get won over by
Well, I hope this stuff
charismatic mayor.
goes viral. SOT 13.
What's so much worse than these crazy conspiracies is how it drives people to abandon their basic human decency. It goes from just asking questions to demonizing a grieving widow, celebrating her husband's violent death. It's so much worse than just absolving the actual.
Oh, that is so refreshing. You see Candace laughing her goblin laugh while showing Erica Kirk grieving, and Spencer Pratt with that juxtaposition. Good for you, Spencer Pratt. I wish you won. You probably did win if it wasn't for all the bullshit. But good for you, and good for Charlie Kirk's show. Andrew and Blake should be showing stuff like this all the time, in my opinion. Not that I have any say in what they do, but, you know, call it out. Don't let a day go by without calling out Candace and her sickness.
Murderer and trying to sabotage the trial. These people have a bloodlust. What have you become when you celebrate an assassination like this? I don't care what your politics are. This was a father, a loving husband. It was one of the most grotesque and shocking moments I've ever seen in American history. But the reactions that followed were far more grotesque and reveal a sad report on where we are as a country. Teachers mocking his death, drag queens putting on assassination fashion shows. Who are these demons? What have we allowed ourselves to become? We have been so thoroughly demoralized, I fear that we can't get any lower.
This whole thing, and you know, we find ourselves, Blake, as fate would have it, at the very nexus of these different ideologies that are starting to shape the online discourse, where left and right is a dated paradigm, and we're all just uniting against the oppressors, and we're the oppressed. And yeah, we're gonna be fools on the internet. With Hassan Piker,
Hi, S-Files.
cheering on Charlie
Thanks for
Kirk.
joining. Joining the one chat. Or no, we have a few people.
It's truly gross. And I do believe that it is the result of a mass demoralization campaign. And they want to make everybody out there, people in this audience, feel like they're taking crazy pills. Because up is now down.
S-Files, I would totally invite you on, but I am not on StreamYard. I'm using OBS, and I haven't figured out how to invite people on or anything. So, otherwise, I would totally extend you an invitation. I really enjoyed our chat last night, so just know that.
Hassan Piker, who's now the mascot for the DSA, and he's out there endorsing all these people that want to ruin the country. He is. It's just like he's
Thank you, Mackenzie. Hi, X Samurai. Yeah, you guys don't feel the need if you want to watch another channel or you don't. I know you guys are supporting me in spirit. I like to do these impromptu lives because I'm bored and I want to interact, and I know you guys all support me. But I don't want you to feel like you have to show up and watch me if you don't feel like it. I'm not offended, but I do appreciate the support.
This treasure trove of old clips because he's been streaming for years and nobody really gave a crap. And now, because he's out there campaigning with people and they're accepting his endorsement, they're digging through all these old clips and finding all of this stuff. And this one was from 2018, and it's the newest one that came out. And it was after Charlie and he had this interaction at Politicon in Los Angeles in 2018. I was at that event, and he goes on to stream and he says this, SOP 15.
What about Democratic mayors? It's like, what the f are you talking about, dude? I want to kill him, dude. I want to.
I want to effing kill him, dude. Takes on a kind of a more intense meaning, doesn't it? So that was a clip that was unearthed, but it was following this over the weekend that really upset a lot of people, including yours truly and Blake. This is Hassan Piker on stage at a DSA gathering mocking Charlie and his death. Hassan 16.
S Files. OBS is good for, I think, making videos and stuff like that. It's not really good for the streaming. I would rather have StreamYard. I think that's much easier. It's much quicker. It's much better. Like, uses less memory and stuff. But I don't know what it is with StreamYard. It doesn't work well with me. One of these days, I'm just gonna like spend a lot of time figuring it all out. But this Hassan Piker guy, he's a big God. Am I allowed to say faggot? I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble with the powers that be, but that's kind of what I think of this Hassan Piker.
There they are cheering. So for those who couldn't make out what that was going on, there's a song, We Are Charlie Kirk. It's AI generated, I believe. So it was made very shortly after the shooting. It's used a lot in online meme videos, meme culture. And so he's basically singing it on stage. The song itself is not meant to mock Charlie, but people do use it that way. And he's singing it on stage to mock Charlie. We're 11 months after his death, almost 1 year.
Yeah, we've been telling you that the rise of left-wing violence is a huge, huge problem. And what's happening now is a synergizing of people that you might interpret as being right-wingers, being on the political right in this country. But what is bringing them all together is a virulent hatred of Israel. Now, I am somebody that has very distinct opinions about Israel. I have my criticisms of the way they've done certain things. I have criticisms of our foreign policy. I am like Charlie, and I am anti-foreign interventions in most cases. If I'm going to err, I'm going to err on the side of being anti-interventionist. But I'm not a purist, and I'm not an absolutist, because every situation should be judged on its own merits. That's basically how Charlie was as well. A lot of people like to say that Charlie would have been against the Iran war. He probably would have been privately, but he also probably would have supported President Trump.
Okay, so I'm glad that Andrew is bringing up, because you guys, I have to say this. I know that I'm Jewish and I have connections with Israel, and so maybe I see things through a lens like that. But I really feel like Israel, which quickly devolves into the Jews, is the fulcrum that is doing this division amongst the right, or that is being exploited by people that want to divide the right and align it with the left. What is it that the one thing that the woke right has in common with the left, the far left, is hatred of Israel? And I mean, maybe you guys can point to like one or two other things, you know, the Charlie Kirk assassination, but even that, it kind of comes down to wanting to blame Israel. And these people that call themselves America First, and I'm talking specifically about the Tucker Carlson crew, they're so America First that they don't give a shit about anything else affecting America besides Israel. Now, I've said it before, I don't blame the average American, and in fact, I can understand the average American that just doesn't care about Israel. But that's different than people like Tucker Carlson, where their whole worldview revolves around Israel, much more than someone like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk had an affection for Israel, and we know that from all his public statements. The case is settled on it, but he was sick of talking about it. He was sick of it. It was half the questions he would get on college campuses were about Israel. He wanted to talk about the economy. He wanted to talk about the border. He wanted to talk about the Trump administration's policies, you know, their agenda. And pretty much all the questions, or at least half the questions he got, was Israel, Israel, Israel. And he was sick of it. And that's so you have on the far left and pretty much actually kind of mainstream left now, hatred of Israel, where it's not just hatred of Israel because of Gaza. I mean, there's a ceasefire in Gaza. It's hatred of Israel for everything. Everything bad under the sun comes from Israel. And that's the horseshoe theory, where they say far right, but it really just ends up at the left. And so I'm glad that Andrew, who, you know, as he just said, it's not an issue that he cares that much about. He's not really for foreign entanglements. He sees some nuance, but I'm glad that people like him are pointing this out, because I think it's obvious. It should be obvious. There's, you know, someone like Tucker Carlson is not in favor of the left on immigration. Maybe he's kind of leftist on economics, but he's not. He's like homophobic. If anything, he's like anti-gay, even like more than I am. And yet he drops it all. He drops all those differences to align himself with the left because they hate Israel. So that's his issue. The USS Liberty, I mean, it was a case of friendly fire that Israel mistakenly hit America, and you know, it was a big tragedy. I don't think that, you know, I mean, it happens in war. It happens in pretty much every war, even where people on the same side hit their own side. I think it's pretty much just like, you know, I forget, I heard like some statistic where it's like something like 10 to 20% of casualties in war are due to friendly fire. So I don't see how Israel would benefit from, again, alienating their biggest ally, the world's superpower, by attacking one boat and then sending in, you know, and then stopping and sending in assistance. So it's a talking point that's often used by Jew haters. You know, just this past war, during the Iran conflict, Kuwait did shot down a U.S. helicopter by accident. I think that everyone survived, but that was another incident of friendly fire. Do you think that like Kuwait wanted to harm America? Well, no, they saw something and they thought it was Iranian, and so they shot it down. No, here's the thing. In the Israeli Knesset, which is like the parliament of Israel, they do not chant death to America. They don't. Go to Israel. I encourage everyone to go to Israel. You will find that there's a lot of love and appreciation to America. It's kind of like a Middle Eastern / Western country. It's a Middle East meets West. And there's a lot of Americans there, and there's nothing but love for America there. And I think probably if you go to Iran, most of the Iranian people love America too. It's just in their parliament, they chant death to America. And they did that before the war. They've been doing that for 47 years. So anybody that wants to brush that under the rug, I don't think is operating in good faith. But anyways, I digress. My point is that I like that Andrew is bringing this point up, because I think it needs to be pointed out more. And I think, especially when it's done by non-Jews, it gives it more credibility. It's another reason why I respect Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson, he is not pro-Israel. He's not. I don't think that he's of the type that wants to like go bomb Israel, like hates Israel, but he's definitely not pro-Israel. But he's a truth seeker enough to realize that the idea that Israel killed Charlie Kirk is retarded, and that all the evidence points to Tyler Robinson, and so he's just going to call out the retardation. So I think that creates that he has more credibility on the topic than somebody that just loves Israel, standing up for it. So anyways, hi Megan, thanks for joining. No worries. I do these impromptu lives. Again, I like chatting with you all. I don't even expect a lot of people to just stop in, but so come and go as you please.
How do we know this? Because we watched him very closely when we bombed Fort F. We watched him go through that process. But these two sides are now uniting under this one banner, okay? And that's what we're seeing on the online discourse, and I can prove it to you.
The left and right are uniting under the banner of being on the left.
Yes, and this is exactly the point we're going to make with Jeremy Carl. Here's Hassan Piker praising Kansas Owens. 20.
I can't like her tweets because she blocked me many years ago. This is before she became our hero. Okay, many years ago, Candace Owens blocked me. I've not been a fan of Candace Owens. I am a fan now.
So he's a fan of her. Why? Because he credits her with blunting the right's reaction to Charlie's murder. We had a mandate to go and cut off all these funding networks to really clamp down on this rise of left-wing violence, Luigi Mangione assassination culture. And he credits her with being able to blunt this movement and distract it. And to some extent, he's right. Let me play you this clip. This is a bunch of DSA members saying they're going to take over the country in a violent revolution. SOT 3.
We have seen that the Democratic Party establishment that we have has to be ripped out. We can actually start to grab hold of the ship of state and steer it in our direction, but it's going to be a violent process.
Oh, it's going to be a violent process. Do you see what's happening? Are we painting the picture clearly for you? The left-right paradigm, it's dated, bro. Doesn't mean anything. It's the oppressors versus the oppressed, and we're all the oppressed. We're going to link arms with the baby killers and the gun grabbers and the third world open borders folks. The inversion of morality. We cannot let it happen. It needs to be called out.
Yeah. It's got to be on TPUSA also, because Charlie Kirk was the one holding the MAGA coalition together, and now that he's gone, it's got to be TPUSA. And you have basically Candace Owens, burning it to the ground, and I think, we saw yesterday on the Chicks on the Right, Andrew Colvett say that they're growing their organization, but the online discourse matters too. And I believe that they're growing it in the real world, but if we lose the online discourse, that could spell trouble for us down the line. I don't know. I kind of waver back and forth, because when I go online and I see the relentless Jew hate topped with all the candy cult followers, it's really disheartening, and I don't know how much of it reflects the real world. It's hard to know, but either way, it's significant. So Candace Owens is pretty much burning TPUSA to the ground, and you have people like Tucker Carlson who are exploiting that vacuum. Let's see. What are some other good clips to watch? Let's see let's watch what Paramount Tactical did.
Liberty Zone, where God-given natural rights are held sacred and exercised. This is your warning. Tyranny, fascism, and censorship will not be tolerated. Ideas will be exchanged freely. Rigorous debate and open discourse is encouraged.
By the way, everyone, I'm seeing a lot of you in this replay in the chat. Mackenzie, X-Samurai, as well as some of our other friends who haven't joined yet. Waffle Bacon, Nine Toe, Lori Matthews, Jackie Bolin, CJ Correnti. So
Prepare yourself. We are now live on the Dangerous Liberty Podcast.
All right, folks, happy Monday out there, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great. We got a lot to cover. Gonna have fun today talking to people on the spaces. For those of you watching us on YouTube, I do have a space running on X simultaneously, and the same goes for you. Great folks over there on the space. The reason I like to do this is, number one, if you're watching on video, I'm actually handing out some guest invites. You can literally jump in here on the YouTube via video or just audio, whatever you prefer. But I also want to make sure that I get people that are on the space. We're handing mics out like Oprah over there, so we got a lot to discuss. But I'm going to jump into this, really the basis of this. And I see a lot of people over on the guest list that are here in the space with me. We got him, CJ Correnti, over here on the channel. We got Mazzy Dogs, 9 Inch Toes, Waffles and Bacons. I appreciate you guys.
you're not following me on X, make sure you follow me. We like to do these on Wednesday. We're going to be doing a members only for YouTube and subscribers only on X from 6 p.m. to 6:45 Eastern time. So again, we really appreciate the support. If you haven't done so already on the space as well as the social media, the YouTube or whatever else you're watching, actually on Rumble and Facebook right now, make sure you guys share. Really appreciate that. So we appreciate that support. We got Liberty Crux already jumping in. I'm going to have him or her come up. I wouldn't want to assume this person's identity, but we will do that in just a moment. But before we do that, I want to jump into what our main topic is. And on the debate with Candace Owens the other day, we had Andrew make a claim. He said that he was going to release some videos. Yes.
The echo is really bad.
Oh God, hold on. Let me see what we got going on here.
Liberty Crux.
Liberty Crux. Yes. Okay. You guys give me a thumbs up if I'm echoing. We always run this type. This is a challenge. Let me make sure that I got all my settings correct.
There's always
Audio.
technical issues. It's good to know that I'm not the only one.
Your echo. StreamYard.
On YouTube. Let me ask you this. You guys, I'm gonna mute my mic on the spaces. It may be coming through so can you guys still hear me on spaces if I mute my mic? You guys give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me on spaces.
That fixed everything, Gary.
What's that?
That fixed everything.
Okay, I just don't know if they can hear me on spaces when I mute my
I'm
mic.
in the space too.
What's that?
I'm in the space too.
Okay, and you can still hear me on the spaces?
Talk.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3.
Now I can.
Now you can't hear me on the space. Okay. I don't know. We'll work that out. I'll work that out. All right. Am I echoing a lot now?
Yes.
Okay. I will. Is it like super bad that we can't take it, or is it just a little bit? Okay. All right. Anyways, I'm going to play this audio real quick because this is what's really important on here. And we will continue to work through the echoing issues. We didn't have that before. Like every time we do this, like a new technical problem comes up. But anyways, here is Andrew Wilson on the debate with Candace Owens.
On September 9th, Charlie's security team wrote to him, yes, law enforcement has been fully supportive and agreed to a security plan and posture. Tomorrow's event will be covered by both my team and the campus PD. If additional support is required, patrol units will be available. I have 11 on site. Charlie responded with this, okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only, because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me. That was a message sent September 9th. Field. On September 9th, Charlie's security team wrote to him, yes, law enforcement has been fully supportive and agreed to a security plan and posture. Tomorrow's event will be covered by both my team and the campus PD. If additional support is required, patrol units will be available. I have 11 on site. Charlie responded with this, okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only, because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me. That was a message sent September 9th. Field. On September 9th, Charlie secured.
All right, so that was September. I'm sorry, that was August 14th during the debate.
Did he say that during the debate? I thought he said that he wasn't going to read that during the debate. But it looks like he's on that couch from the debate when he's reading that. Did I miss that part? Huh.
Now I'm going to play Andrew Wilson's release never before seen when he actually played it on his stream.
This is between Charlie Kirk and a friend of his. And here's what it says. This was forwarded to Charlie. Right-wing loser Charlie Kirk is going to be at ISU tomorrow, and I'm going to...
Folks, for those of you that can't see this, there's actually, it shows the actual text on the screen.
Kill him. Legal intent to murder. Arrest me. Says to his friend, I'm sorry the Illinois trip is in jeopardy after all of this type of crap. His friend says, oh my God, such lunatics. No worries, stay safe. Kirk says the left is reaching a dangerous point. The left is reaching a dangerous point. Now that's from the spring 2025. I already showed you evidence over and over again that Charlie Kirk was worried, and he publicly mentioned this many times, how worried he was about leftists killing him. That was his primary concern. He never publicly once stated that he thought Israel or anybody else was going to hurt, kill him, anything like that. Never. He never publicly stated that once, but he often publicly stated that it was the case that he thought that leftists were going to kill him. And that's from 2025.
So there we go. What they can't produce, they won't be able to produce, is anything saying that Israel was going to kill him. They haven't seen anything like that. They tried to reframe this as when he said they are going to kill me, that he was talking specifically about Israel. Real quick, Jen, jump back in here. We're still having echo issues because I'm going to play around with some settings and see if we can't get that ironed out.
Echo is completely gone on both
Okay.
sides. But you knocked me off his post.
Literally didn't change a single thing. I didn't change a single thing.
So weird.
The other thing that I want to bring up while we're talking about this is earlier today, I'm going to share this tab instead. Earlier today, go to my profile real quick. I'm showing this. I don't know. Freaking Baron Coleman said something on something. And so I replied back to him. I said, Baron Coleman, the failed lawyer. Oh, what he said was, he sent out a post saying, tune in tonight, Gary. You'll like it if you like shows about you. First of all, Baron, I don't really care. I love your shows about me. I mean, you've had dozens and dozens, and every single time, like literally everything you've stated has been a lie. You've also doxed my producer, Jen. I don't want to get into all of that, but the fact is that you just lie. Every single time that you do a show about me or cover anything about me, it is a lie every single time. And what you get so upset about is when I talk about you, I make sure I'm telling the truth. And you can't stand it. Man, this guy is so thin-skinned. He is such a little, I don't know what I said. He's a bitch. He's such a bitch about this. Like, he just whines and cries and gets, like, have you guys seen him crash out on his own show when somebody actually gives him a challenging super chat? It is hilarious to watch. Have you guys seen him scream into the mic when he was a radio show host about, you know, this other person that he said he was going to burn everything down, he was going to get her, like, I mean, just complete crash out. The guy's insane. But the problem is that he continues to lie. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. Like, everything he tells, everything he says, every single narrative he puts out is a lie wrapped in another lie, wrapped in another lie. And I don't care, Baron. You can say whatever you want about me. He's also out there saying that I'm short.
Yeah, me and Gary have had a little disagreement because I think Baron Coleman's theories are so stupid that it couldn't be a grift because it's retarded. I did a video about his interview on Julian Dory, and I'm like, these theories are so stupid. I think it's genuine. Big Gary says he's a grifter, and so I will defer to Gary on this because he's had a lot more experience.
I guess this is the new thing. You are so pathetic, and you have got to the point to where you even have to resort to saying that I'm short. I'm 6'1", Baron. I'm 6'1". So just stop with all of your nonsense. So that's kind of where we're at. It's pretty hilarious to watch. And again, you can have all of the shows about me that you want. I couldn't care less. I really couldn't. So that's where we're at with that. And then I also wanted to show you this right here. Again, so now he's saying that because Tyler Robinson jumped down and didn't break his, it couldn't have been Tyler Robinson. It had to be somebody that was trained. This kid's 22 years old. Just because you have fragile ankles, Baron, doesn't mean that everybody else has fragile ankles. So that's where we're at with all of this. So let's go ahead. It looks like we have a guest, Liberty Crux. I guess, Liberty Crux, welcome to the show. Your mic's muted.
Oh. Is it going now?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. So, I messaged you before, and I'm a retired Title 32 ADR staff sergeant out of the Army National Guard. I just wanted to...
Thank you for your service. I'm not going to lie. I looked down there, and you look a lot like Baron Coleman. I thought you were Baron Coleman. I was getting excited.
I was just gonna say that this guy looks like Baron Coleman. He's got the same exact haircut and beard and kind of facial structure. Hilarious. I was thinking that. I wish I said that when I was thinking it because that would have been fun.
Getting excited.
No.
Fireworks.
No, my old picture, I lost all my red. I'm turning white because I'm old now. But I just wanted to say, I hear a lot of bullshit of stolen valor about Andrew. I was Army National Guard for 17 years, 14 active federal service in it. Andrew said it's stupid. It's really, really stupid, but I just wanted to air the air on it because for those of us who know, the Army is a lot bigger place than the Special Forces community. Sure. And there's three components to the Army. There's the active component, the reserve component, the National Guard component. The National Guard has combat arms, the reserve does not. Andrew said he enlisted as a 19 Delta, and then he went back and finished out drill. That tells me as the AGR, he went to training, he got hurt, and I also talked to him, he got hurt. He went home and finished out drill within a year. What he fucking do? It's really stupid.
I agree.
It's really, really stupid. And for people to say, oh, it's stolen valor, it's the background bullshit.
Real quick, Andrew actually offered to send me his documents. I was like, I don't really care, to be honest with you, Andrew. I don't think that if I verify that your documents that you were in the military, this would change anything. I don't know. You guys let me know. You guys on the spaces, if you would like me to verify some of those documents and you think that would be additive in any way, feel free to do so. I think it will. It's not going to stop. These are people are saying, but go ahead, Liberty.
No, it won't, but it's the show me the DD 214. That's a certificate of release from active duty.
Yep.
When you're in the National Guard, you get an NGB Form 22. I have one of those and like 6 or 7 DD 214s. And my DD 214 has been on the Gateway Pundit showing how they're wrong about Tim Walz with GWAT stuff when he went to Italy and, Operation Green Borders and everything else. So the Army's just a lot bigger place than people realize, and they really just need to stop being vet bro douchebags and shut the fuck up.
I like you, Liberty. You're a good dude, man. I agree. The vet bro douchebaggery has peaked. We have reached a critical mass point that I'm kind of tired of hearing it. And what we have really are a bunch of people that used to serve in the military, which I respect their service. But at the end of the day, what they become is subversive leftists. That's what they are. That's what Valhalla VFT is. He's a lefty. I mean, he hates Trump. He hates the Republican Party. There's nothing conservative about him. He kind of dips his toe in a little bit of libertarian. But the fact is like, he wants to call me out. He wants to fight me. Like, no, bro, let me call you out. I'm going to tell you what's going on there, Nate. Just stop lying. How about that? Stop lying. Quit telling absolute lies. Quit selling yourself as some sort of gun expert. You're an 18 Echo, which is commo. You don't even know that wooden stocks can be removed from a firearm. You're retarded when it comes to that. So I don't know, like, just stop lying. And by the way, I think everything he's doing is far worse than anything that Tim Kennedy has ever done. Tim Kennedy, I think, exaggerated some stories, and that's not correct. I condemn that. But let me tell you something. If I was having to go to war right now, I don't question Tim Kennedy's loyalty to this country. I really don't. And I would rather have someone like him that may have exaggerated some stories as opposed to someone that is clearly working as a subversive force from the left. And that's where I stand on all this. So what else you got, Liberty?
Just loyalty matters, especially if you're looking at everything that's going on. Islam has never stopped invading countries for the last 1,300 years. There's no such thing as moderate Islam. They're either supremacists who believe their theocracy needs to be their government or not. And it's really, really simple to draw the lines on who the external enemy is.
Well, you know who I can tell you real quickly is an enemy is Hunter Biden, a crackhead, someone that engaged in human trafficking in multiple different ways, sold influence because his father was in office, and yet we have Hunter Biden going on VFD. I think it's disgusting, to be honest with you. So, you know, that's where I stand with all that, and I think all your points were great, and it was great to have you on, man. So,
it's a shame. Have a good night.
You too, buddy. The link's down there. If you want to jump up and say something else, feel free to do so. And everybody else that is over there in the comments, feel free to use that link and jump in anytime that you would like. I do want to go to some of the folks over in Spaces. We do have a couple of super chats already. Mary Jo just became a new member. Thank you very much, Mary Joey. Get that right, Mary Joey. We appreciate your support. And folks, if you want to support the channel, and by the way, you know, we need support, right? Candace, Baron, all these people, they get support. You want to see people like me, not just me, other people out there, you know, support them. Support them with the same energy and vigor that these people that are trying to destroy our country support their channels. So, anybody over there that has a mic, CJ, I know you were asking to speak. You always get priority as far as I'm concerned, but feel free to go ahead, bud.
I just think we should make Ben come down and give us 50 for talking over your intro.
I agree. I mean, how rude. And you know, he's like my co-host, and he's sabotaging us right up from the get-go.
I know. We didn't say that.
I didn't know. Okay? I didn't know. I couldn't hear it.
Now you're speaking over CJ. How rude.
I know. Well, CJ's cool. All right, CJ's all right.
He is. No, we appreciate you, Ben. We appreciate all your support in many different ways. Him, jump up there and speak, man. I've been following your content. You've had a lot of great content. If you got something, you always got something to say that's great on X. So jump in there. How did you trademark him?
I didn't. It's all a lie. I didn't trademark it. How's it going, man? I've been following you for a while as well. Honestly, since all this, you know, woke right shit popped up, I guess, but lost a lot of trash and found a lot of good people. So it's cool to see everyone, you know, like mine's kind of battling this woke right nonsense. It's pretty devastating to the movement sometimes. It feels like, but I'm starting to feel a lot more confident in where we're at.
Yeah, man, we can't let them demoralize us, right? We again, reality is X is not reality, and we see this time and time again with all of these primaries that took place. You know, we were told that Fishback and all these losers and Massey were going to win, and they just got crushed. Like whatever X tells you is happening, the opposite is true. I actually, because of all that, I am very, very optimistic to see what's going to happen with the midterms, and we're going to try to continue to get engaged and figure out ways that we can help. You know, make sure that people get out to vote and make sure they understand what's at stake, folks. I know it's said every time. We just talked about the last podcast. This really is the most important election we've ever had. And we've got to win the midterms. The Republican Party is not great. It's not perfect. They piss me off. A lot of these people are in office doing nothing. But guess what? They're so much better than AOC, than Ilhan Omar, than the left taking over this country, opening up the borders and flooding our country with people that hate us and our enemies and terrorists and everything else. There is a lot of positive things that are happening in the Trump administration. We kind of highlighted many of those things in the last podcast. You know, good things are happening, and we don't want to stop. I would like to see more, but we always do, right? I mean, government, the fact is that it's a bureaucracy nightmare, and to get anything done, it's a challenge. But we can't let the left win, and I think, look, we haven't heard much from the left.
Sorry to my few viewers. Looks like I am. Have you guys been seeing this at all this whole time? There we go. Okay. Okay. One second. I'm trying to fix my settings on OBS. You've just been listening? Okay. All right. I don't know. It said on my YouTube studio that it was going. Good, Megan. I'm happy. I'm happy that milk makes you feel better. I'm not a huge milk drinker except in my coffee. But different strokes for different folks. I'm turning on AC.
Part of that is because the right is busy destroying itself. We've got Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and all these people that are destroying everything that Charlie worked for. So that's part of it. But we can't let ourselves get demoralized. And whatever you need to do, whether it's tuning in to Paramount Tactical, or tuning into Dangerous Liberty Podcast, or looking up stats and seeing what is happening for the good of this country, do what you need to do. But don't let them demoralize you. And I agree with you, Em. Like, one of the great things about this entire event, the positives, right, is that it was a filter. Like, we see people for, or most people should see people for exactly who they are, as opposed to what they've been pretending to be for the last many years. Tucker Carlson, no fan of this country. He loves Islam. He clearly hates any sort of Protestants. Same thing with Candace Owens. Like, these people are the antithesis of what Charlie Kirk was and what his movement stands for. So, whatever you got to do, keep those spirits high, and we have a lot to look forward to in the near future. And I hope we continue with the track record that we're seeing through the primaries, and that is this black pill demoralization effort is just that. It's something we see on X primarily, and it doesn't play out in reality. So,
Yeah, you're 100% right, man. Well, we have this mess going on over here.
I wish I shared Gary's optimism here, but to be honest, when I saw that Dan Bilzerian got 17% of the vote, that's not nothing. And again, his whole platform was, I hate Jews. That's it. He didn't say anything about the border. He didn't say anything about healthcare, education. That was it. And he still got 17% of the vote. I don't know. I mean, that's a little worrisome. Imagine if he was not retarded. Imagine if he had other good policy prescriptions in addition to hating Jews. You might have gotten like 30, 40%. That's a little bit worrisome.
We're seeing a lot of people come together, though.
throw these polls up all day, and the you're seeing these people in their primaries getting absolutely whipped, like you said, and any poll that goes up, I mean, they're not popular. On the on the flip side of the coin, you have the DSA on the other side that's seems to really be helping the conservative movement as well. Even Democrats don't want that garbage. So
Yeah,
Let me get a couple
and it's funny when these clowns like Ian Carroll or Ryan Matha or whoever it is, the woke right, the Nazi right, might as well call it for what it is. They have these polls. I remember seeing all these polls of is Thomas Massey gonna win? And it was like 98% with their freaking little polls. So look, there's a huge delta between reality and what we're seeing on X, and that's what they're doing. And I think there's a lot of formal line influence that helps push those things. So most importantly, is the stuff that you're doing. It makes a huge difference. Every person on here, all the influencers, I see we got Britta down there, we got Gator Gar, we got Nana, Tammy, all these people. Raven's down there. Look at that. Good to see you. Raven would love to hear you speak if you'd like to. Same thing with you, Britta. You're always welcome. You guys, I don't think you really understand the positive impact that many of you have. And look, it is timely every single time that I start feeling down. Because again, we constantly have all these attacks, and I was talking to somebody today about this. You don't see, what you guys see, whether it's me or Britta or some of these other people that are on the side of sanity, you see 1/10 of the actual of what's happening behind the scenes, as far as constant DMs, people spamming you, people prank calling you. Of course, Stu Peters doxed my phone number back in I don't know, December, January. It was January, so every now and then I get some.
Gary gets more hate from the Jew haters than the Jews get. That makes him a mensch, and it's not like he goes. I'm not trying to take anything away, but it's not like he goes out of his way to just defend Israel or anything. It's just that he's a truth seeker, and the fact that the truth leads him to the conclusion that the Jews are not behind everything bad in the world draws the hatred of the Jew haters more than they hate the Jews. And so, for all of you non-Jews that, again, it's not even sticking up for the Jews. I mean, that's great if you do. But even if you just are yeah, I don't buy into the stupidity of the Jew hate, thank you. Thank you.
Somebody calling me up, that's always a fun conversation. Emails, attacks on my personal business, attacks on my family, people spread pictures of my wife all over the internet, kids all over the internet. You guys don't see 1/10 of what's going on. And 90% of the times, it doesn't bother me. As a matter of fact, it fuels me. It lets me know that I'm doing exactly. I love when people down in the comments go look at some of the posts I have. Gary, you're so irrelevant. I don't know why you're doing this. You shouldn't even be wasting your time. Then why are you in my comments? Why are you in my comments? So you people absolutely motivate me. So keep throwing that trash at me. I love it. I love when Barron needs to dedicate a whole podcast. He needs to take a break from lying about the Charlie Kirk case and lie about me or lie about people I'm associated with. I love it. I love it. Candace, I'm the obscure YouTuber that she can't keep out of her mouth. I'm on freaking half of her podcasts. I am so obscure, so irrelevant that you constantly have to make up lies about me. And now I'm short. Now, me being 6'1", I'm short, and I'm just a little midget running around the internet, my little midget account, and it's just, it's so laughable. It's so laughable. When you have Baron Coleman, when you start looking at his past, and by the way, Baron, I'm going to be doing a lot more digging, so just buckle up, because we got a lot more to expose, all of which is going to be true, all of it's going to be evidence-based, which you don't have. And we're going to continue to explore some of your relationships with so many people that have been subversive to this movement, and I know exactly who you are. You don't bother me. You don't scare me. I'm not intimidated by you, so keep making all the lies you want, and just I'm still like, we're right on the verge. Well, I'll just leave that. Anyways, fact is, you just keep doing what you're doing there, because all you do is give me more evidence. Because again, when you continue to lie about me, it's super easy for me to show the proof. Just like when you were lying about me saying that, I said that Mitch Snow was never at Fort Huachuca, even though on day one I said literally, folks, you can guarantee he was actually there. They need a kernel of truth to actually push the lie, but that's what he has. So that's who we're dealing with, and I'm very clear-eyed who we're dealing with. We got Mr. E down in the comments. We're going to bring him up there to say hi or to go off on whatever he wants. I hope that he's as drunk as he was the other night. I love Mr. E. Appreciate you guys' help. Enjoyed having Andrew on the other night. If you guys didn't see that podcast, you need to. Let me look. We have somebody in the chat. I mentioned this earlier, but says super chat. Valhalla interviewed Hunter Biden. I know, and it was disgusting. It was gross. Gross. MTX 485 in the super chat said, did you know Charlie called Ben S a good friend on September 9th? Sent it to Obscure Mod. Seems like Charlie told Dunce what she wanted to hear either way. I wonder how Barron feels about that contradiction. Yeah, like Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire, and I've had the opportunity to talk to people behind the scenes on some of these things. They were competition with one another. I don't think there was didn't seem like there was any real bad blood, but there was some friction there without a doubt. But the fact is that Charlie Kirk personally invited Ben Shapiro to AmFest 2024 and AmFest 2025. You know who he didn't invite? Miss Candace Owens, and there's a reason for that. So, I mean, you can say what you want about
Everyone in the chat, all 6 of you. Yesterday I had a pretty big chat, actually. It was like 35 people. That's pretty good for me. You guys, ask your question to the 8 ball. Oh, yeah, Megan, if you want to learn about the Holocaust, I would not use Al Jazeera as a source. But I get what you're saying. You came across it. Okay. Megan, I'm going to ask the 8 ball. Is Al Jazeera a good source for information about the Holocaust? Focus and ask again. Even the 8 ball thought it was a ridiculous question. It didn't accept the question. Okay. Is Al Jazeera a good source for information about the Holocaust? Whoa. No. No. You can't see it, but it was an emphatic no by the 8 ball. Van Cruz, welcome. It's the biggest no. You know what? It's funny because as I was asking the question, I was like, you know what? Most of these answers are actually like yes, but so I was a little worried. I'm like, because I would read it even if it said yes, but it said no. First it said focus and ask again, then it just said no. By the way, I'm pausing the video a little bit. I want to make sure that the streaming is smooth. I know that Gary is very litigious and he's gonna copyright strike me. Just kidding. He wouldn't do that. But I also like to chat a little bit. Okay, let's keep listening to this.
His relationship with a slightly adversarial relationship with Ben Shapiro, but I think they respected one another. But they were in competition with one another, and we see that in all businesses. And unfortunately, that conservative influence sphere is a business, and they're fighting for donors, they're fighting for support, And, they're all trying to convince each other and their donors and potential customers that, they're the best ones for the job. And sometimes that requires highlighting disagreements between them. It is what it is. The last super chat I have here, Colton W1. Just keep it up, Gary. I can't wait to meet you at a class when I'm closer. By the way, folks, we had tactical carbine level 1 and 2 courses this past weekend, so I was a little bit out of the loop. I'm just catching up, or I would have had this podcast much sooner, but got other things to do out there. Anybody down in the space, come up there. Nana, go ahead. You put your hand up first. You were quickest on the draw.
Hey, Gary, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I would love to hear where'd she go? She disappeared. Raven and Britta have what insights they have as well, but
Well, that's better.
I had a point that just flew out of my head, but I remember. I don't know if you guys saw that video that Candace did with her husband where she was talking about there was nobody in her personal life that had a problem with her marrying George, but there was one person in her professional life, and that was Charlie Kirk. So she admits right off the bat they weren't personal friends.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Tactical.
Yeah.
Paramount Tactical and
Oh, sorry. I hit play on something. I didn't post. Anyway, go ahead.
Scared me for a minute there, Gary. I thought she was on the call.
God bless her. I love her to have it. I love her to have a call. Love it.
Oh,
It would just be incessant prattling.
It would be.
that would be interesting indeed. It sure would.
Let's
But
go.
anyway, I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it and I'll tag you so you can watch it.
Yeah, thank you.
But-
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll tag you guys. That's really all I wanted to say.
Awesome.
I got a quick
Yeah,
comment
thank
about
you, Gary.
your Baron Coleman thing.
Mr. Reese,
What's that?
Did you see the fucking post that he made today about like, I jumped off a one-story roof and I shattered my ankle, and it's like, and then a bunch of people that follow him are like, this is impossible. You would need to be specially trained to be able to hang off a one-story built like roof and drop and not be like seriously injured. But, like, it's like, I'm not specially trained at anything. I just snowboarded and skateboarded for like 10 years, and I've definitely landed jumps that were much higher than a one-story. You know what I mean?
Well, when I was a kid, I used to jump off literally the peak of my roof just to see what would happen. I did it all the time, and it became like
I
a
used to jump off the roof onto a trampoline, and then land on I fucking landed on picnic tables and shit. Like, I've hurt myself. So I feel like a lot of these people that are like fans of like Candace and Baron and people like that, like, they're just a bunch of fucking pussies that never did anything cool in their life. You know, they just like work desk jobs and like they wear their seatbelt all the time. They never drive over the speed limit. You know what I mean? They didn't jump their bikes off of sand dunes or ride skateboards or snowboard or ride dirt bikes or any shit like that.
That's so true.
Crazy, man. It's just a bunch of
That's funny. I like that. I like that commenter. It seems like all these Baron and Candy fans are just a bunch of pussies. Yeah, that's funny.
This is who we're dealing with.
Yeah,
Like, kids that got fucking shoved in lockers in fucking high school.
The fragile ankle gang. Is that what you said, Gary?
yeah.
That's what I said to him. I was like, should have drank your milk, pussy.
Well, look. Even when I was in the military, when we'd be assaulted through objectives, I would, with full kit, like 70 pounds of gear, gun, and everything else, would regularly fall further than that. And then again, what I did post, you guys can see it up there in the jumbotron. You guys feel free to share it. I love it. According to the crack detective and failed lawyer Baron Coleman, it couldn't have been Tyler Robinson who jumped off the roof because the guy clearly had training and didn't shatter on impact. Baron's irrefutable evidence? He once broke his own delicate little ankle. Therefore, every human ankle is made of glass. Case closed. Everyone, the ankle expert has spoken. So I think that would be it. I would love to
completely
see.
separated from my leg.
I mean, Gary, that's kind of my point. Is it's so stupid. His points are so stupid that it's almost got to be genuine.
Wait, you guys don't jump off buildings anymore? What's going on?
No, I'm old. I don't even like getting on, like crawling around with my kids if my fucking knees get so sore so fast, dude. I fucked my knees up so bad. I would recommend not skateboarding or snowboarding because when you're 40, you will fucking regret it.
Wait, you're only 40? Come on.
I feel old.
Well, I'm way older.
Me too.
I'm 46. I'm not getting any younger, to say the least. But what I will say, I did see a funny thing on X the other day. It showed a guy. He's like, when I forget that I'm 45, and like he jumps. He's like in the back of his truck, and he just kind of jumps off the back of his truck and keeps walking. And then he realizes he's a ghost and looks back at his body laying on the ground all crumpled up. That's exactly it. Exactly it. No, look, Baron, it's not our fault that you have a weak constitution, you got weak gene syndrome, and your ankles are fragile. We can see just from this poster clearly.
Yeah, Megan, I think, and I'm just kind of going off memory here, so if I'm wrong, don't take it out of context. But I think the video of Tyler Robinson, it's not even him jumping off a one-story building. He was hanging. Gary showed a picture of Baron's ankles. They are dainty. Yeah. Well, I can say that I used to skateboard. I mean, I was not like a pro or anything, but I did. Like, kind of one of my claims to fame was I ollied off a 10 stair. So that's a story, and it's actually story plus distance. And yeah, there's people, and after you take a shot and kill somebody, you're probably gonna be willing to risk twisting an ankle. So it was, it wasn't like he just like leapt off a one-story building, which again is possible. Secondly, he was onto grass. It was onto grass with mud and stuff because it left a shoe print. It wasn't onto concrete. And he hung off it, so it was probably like a total of like 5 feet, 6 feet. It was so stupid. But these are his points. These are like Baron Coleman's each of his points, and he has like an encyclopedia of them. But each one of them is stupid. He just kind of gish gallops so many points that it seems like, oh, okay, if we consider everything together, then maybe it's like valid. But no, each one is so stupid, and when you put it all together, it's still stupid. So he watch my review of his interview with Julian Dory, because that live is not like one of these impromptu ones. I actually had some more stuff to say. But yeah, his points are so stupid. They're really stupid. And that's when he's being interviewed. So like I can only imagine the other points he's come up with. Yeah, I mean it's just another stupid point. It's just another stupid point. Thank you, S-Files. Yeah, I was not so bad. I kickflipped a big 6 stair, and I ollied a 10 stair. Those were kind of like my two biggest achievements when I was a skater. But I stepped on a skateboard last year, and I couldn't do anything. So it is not like riding a bike. Yeah.
Look, if you look at the old pictures of Baron Coleman, this guy was a tubby, not very active person for a really long time. I have no doubt that your ankles just completely started to disintegrate and deteriorate. Luckily, you started doing some CrossFit, and I guess that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Good for you, bud. But the fact is, you're still a lying grifter, fraud. that makes a lot of money defrauding people through fake narratives, allegedly. I'm just asking questions, folks. I'm just asking questions. And, I can come up with all kinds of crazy, speculative. When he sits there and says, here's what I think they were trying to kill him 6 different ways. The microphone, the hand mic was electrified. This explosive device went off.
He said that?
No, he did. And here's what he also said.
The mic was electrified.
Yeah, that's one of his big theories. The hand mic was electrified, so he can explain the decorticate posturing. He also said his ring looks like it gets stuck on his hand because it's like an electromagnetic thing. Like, as if, you freaking moron, if you get electrified or electrocuted, the human body becomes magnetic. What a freaking retard. And then on top of that, what he said was that then they drug him to the SUV, and from the radio traffic that they pulled up, it sounds like that Charlie Kirk was fighting for his life, and then they broke his neck manually, and then they didn't know what to do, so they had a pre-fired bullet that they shoved in his wound. Folks, that right there, number one, it's insane.
Did they just shove all the little fractured pieces in?
Yeah.
Just one by one?
That's exactly what he said.
Would even buy this story.
It's exactly what he said. I got to
It makes
pull
a lot of sense to it. Have you ever watched the part of a show where he just reads super chats from these fucking insane people that send him money? It's honestly like fucking comedy gold, dude. Because they'll be like, oh, I think maybe aliens came down and fucking, what I mean, blah, blah, blah. And you'd be like, oh, I think you actually have a pretty good quote there. He's like the human equivalent of the meme, the stupidest person you know is being told, I really like the way you're thinking about that right now by ChatGPT.
He is the Pied Piper of retards. That's what it is. I'm going to go ahead and play this audio. If you haven't heard it, Mr. Matter of fact, I'm going to tag you too. And I'm going to go ahead and put it up in the, let me see.
Jumbotron.
The Jumbotron here. Share post via, I've never done this on, I'm probably going to do it with my phone.
It's really upsetting because I'm a good lawyer, and right now I'm struggling. I don't have a whole lot of cases that are settling. It's taking a long time, and this guy is a shit lawyer, and he's making tons and tons of money off stupid ass people. And it's upsetting. It's the same reason. I mean, it's not envy, but it's just like what a world where the stupid, incompetent lawyer can make money off retards online, and good lawyers, have to work hard. I need to start doing the conspiracy slop, and I know for a fact that if I was to ever do it, I would be so much more, so much bigger, But I can't do it. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror. I wouldn't be able to look at my kids. I would be like, wow, I'm such a shitty person. Van Cruz, it wasn't easy. It's just like anything. You got to practice. You can't do an ollie your first try. You gotta practice. Yeah, doing the right thing is harder, but I think it pays off. I think in the long run it pays off, and you feel better about it. Yeah. S-Files, me and you are we're trying to grow by being honest, and it's not as easy as being a grifter. You did it. Well, yeah, I mean, not everybody is meant for everything. I like snowboarding, so I was pretty good at skating, and I thought that would translate to snowboarding, but it does not. If anything, it made me even worse than like a complete noob at snowboarding. I couldn't even get off the lift without falling down. So I just after a whole day on my ass of snowboarding, I'm like, this is not for me. I'm not a snowboarder at all. Surfing I've done. I'm like not bad at. I mean, I haven't done it forever, so I probably couldn't do it anymore. But I was able to ride some waves. Yeah, maybe those type of sports just aren't for you, Van Cruz. It's cool. Everyone's got their strong suits and their weak suits. And I tried using some WD-40 on this chair. This chair is so much more comfortable than my other chairs. So you guys are gonna deal with the squeakiness, but I don't know where the squeaking is coming from. Yeah, Megan. Yeah, and I think in the long run it will even be more beneficial financially. Basketball. Yeah, I think I would have been good if I kept practicing. When I was young, I was pretty good, but now I can't. I mean, now I can't do anything, so that's not a. But when I was really young, I was pretty good for my age. But then once it started mattering how tall you were, then I stopped being good. It's probably from the inside back of the chair. Wow, Megan. No, you're not bad at everything because you're like an engineer. You just diagnose the squeakiness of my chair. I'm gonna go get some WD-40. See, what other live chats can you just sit back and watch somebody get WD-40 for their chair to make sure it's not squeaky? That's the type of exciting entertainment I bring.
But I'm gonna go and play this, and I'll tag you.
Like Frank Turek describes, understand if he supposedly died at the scene, like Frank Turek describes in his different discussions, as Brian Harpole described, if he supposedly died at the scene, just fold him up and close the door. Why are you risking someone falling out of the car at highway speeds?
Why, Zach? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You just bend his legs. It's not like he's got rigor mortis yet. That takes a while to set in. So you just bend his.
Folks, like here we have Jimmy Dore, a fellow retard, also a complete leftist, by the way. And they're like, hey, if he's dead, just would you do that to any person that you love, even if you know they're dead? You're just gonna why not just strap them to the roof? Why not just throw them in the trunk? I mean, what disgusting people! I mean, you have to be psychotic and have zero empathy, sympathy, a clear sociopath to even say this stuff out loud. By the way,
His legs, and you close the door. Why would they're going 65?
You guys, everyone, give a special thank you for Megan. She literally just told me where I need a WD-40, this chair which squeaks have been bothering me like crazy. Well, thank you so much, because I think you've cured it. Almost. Maybe I spoke too soon. But I think she's diagnosed the chair squeaky. I don't know though. Now I'm starting to hear it again. I'll look into it some more. But yeah, Jimmy Dore is another person. I came across one of his videos. He just was ranting about Israel and the Jews and everything. So I'm sure he's like that. And of course, when he was on Tucker Carlson, he talked shit about Erica Kirk, and Tucker Carlson just went, his crazy, psychotic, demonic laugh, as Jimmy Dore is mocking Tucker Carlson's so-called friend's grieving widow of a wife. So that lets you know everything you need to know about Jimmy Dore, another piece of shit. So of course this Jimmy Dore would have Barron on. Of course he would. And I think Jimmy Dore is some failed comedian that never made it.
70 miles an hour for 12 minutes. and you got multiple 3 police reports of someone hanging out of the car, and they think it's a victim. What in the hell else could that mean? I can't know. Go ahead.
Well, I want to say that I believe that when Brian Harpole went on the Sean Ryan show, they may have been anticipating this because they would have known these broadcasts existed if they'd have done any kind of research. And I think they anticipated that people would hear about this. And so Brian Harpole goes on the Sean Ryan show and Frank Turek goes on the Megyn Kelly show, and they describe that, on the way there, they were holding each other. You know, Charlie's such a tall man.
You guys,
Closed the door behind him.
I gotta go. I'm on baby duty. Yes, Megan, on the next live chat, you will help me fix the squeakiness. I think you definitely made it better. Not taking anything away. You definitely made it a lot better, but I still got a little bit. Thank you. Good night, everybody. I gotta go. We'll finish this up tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.